These are the bolded problems for Unit 3, Day 3, Section 10.3. Our first problem is number 11, and we're going to use our skills with division to solve for A. Inspecting this problem, there's nothing to distribute, there's no like terms, and all the addition and subtraction have already been done. So at this point we're just doing multiplication and division. So I'm going to look at this A and ask myself what's going on here. And the A and the 3 are involved in a multiplication relationship. So to undo that, we need to divide. And I'm going to divide this side by 3, and that excuse me, turns into 1. And I'm also going to divide this side by 3. And when I'm done, the A will come down, and I'll have A equals 3 goes into 48 16 times. And there we have it. Let's double check. Is it true that 3 times 16 equals 48? And yes, it is, because 3 times 16 is 48, and 48 equals itself. And there you have it. Let's look at the next one. This is number 29. Now, let's inspect. I don't have anything to distribute. I do, however, have some adding and subtracting to do because this one doesn't belong on that side. So to make it go away, I'm going to add its opposite to make 0. And what I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other. And my new result will be negative 1/4 A equals, and then negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. So my next step is isolating that variable. The A and the negative 1/4 are multiplying. So you can do two things. You could divide by 1/4, but gosh, that's the same as multiplying by 4. And what I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other. But wait, a reciprocal relationship, 4 times 1/4, has to equal positive 1. And for this to equal positive 1, I have to multiply it by negative 4 on both sides. That's a big deal. Pay attention to your signs, because if you make a mistake, you could end up owing money. Anyway, negative 4 times negative 1/4 is 1, so that brings down the A. Negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. And I'm only writing that positive sign because I want to make a point. Let's check our work. Negative 1/4 times plus 5 equals 2. And if I put 12 in here, I have negative 1/4 times 12 over 1. Negative 1 times 12 is negative 12. 4 times 1 is 4. That is 4 going into negative 12, and that will be negative 3 times. And that 5, I haven't forgotten about him, so he's going to come down. And then I'm going to combine my like terms. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2, and 2 equals 2. So that's number 29. Now let's look at number 43. Again, here I don't have anything to distribute, but I do have some like terms to deal with. On the left side I have this and this are like terms. On the right side I have this and this are like terms. So let's take care of that first. 4x plus 2x is 6x. And I'm just going to bring down that negative 7, minus 7. 9 minus 10 is negative 1. Now, my next problem is dealing with isolating that variable, and my first job will be to add or subtract. So I need to make that go away, and to do that I'm going to add its opposite. It's negative 7, so I'm going to say plus positive 7 plus positive 7. What I do to one side, I do to the other. That zeroes out. and that'll leave me with 6x on that side. And the difference between 7 and negative 1 is 6. Starting to look good. To get rid of this, I'm going to divide both sides by 6. And remember, that's the same as multiplying it by 1 over 6. But since it's a whole number, we'll just do it the easy way. That turned into 1, and my x is going to come down. 6 into 6 is 1. So there is an answer. Let's see if it's right. So I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say 4 times something minus 7 plus 2 times something equals, let's just do that in our head, negative 1. And our answer was positive 1, so let's see if it works. I'm going to plug that in wherever there was an x. And 4 times 1 is 4, minus 7 plus 2 times 1 is 2 equals negative 1. Let's change that all to addition as we've been taught. So that'll be plus negative 1. So 4 plus 2 is 6 plus negative 7. I said that was negative 1. I meant negative 7. Sorry. The difference between these, they have different signs. So you're going to find the difference between 7 and 6. The big dog is negative, so it equals negative 1. And that equals negative 1, which means I did that one right. So let's look at the next one. This is number 57. This is a translation problem, so let's take a look at the actual problem first. The sum of 2x and 5 is 19. So here's some clue words, as I talked about before. The word sum tells me that there's an addition involved. And the word is tells me that that's an equal sign. So right now I know that 2x and 5 are going to be on one side, and here's my is. 19 is going to be on the other side. And remember, sum tells me to take this and this and add them together. So 2x plus 5 is equals 19. So now we're ready to do the mechanical part of it. And that would be, first of all, I need to isolate the variable. If this is the variable side and this is the number side, this one doesn't belong. So I'm going to zero him out by adding the opposite. And that will give me a new result of 2x equals 19 minus 5 is 14. Pardon me. I'm going to divide that side by 2 and that side by 2 to get the variable alone. So x equals 7. Now let's check it. Is it true that 2 times 7 plus 5 equals 19? 14 plus 5 does indeed equal 19. So we did that right.